Geography. Just as astronomy grew out of mathematics, geography grew out of astronomy. Few empires in history spanned an area the size of the Muslim world in the Golden Age. With a generally unified political system extending across such a wide area, long-distance travel became safe and relatively common. It is no wonder, then, that Muslims would emerge as some of the leading geographers of the Middle Ages. The old myth that Christopher Columbus discovered that the earth is round is just that, a myth. It had in fact been accepted since ancient times that the earth was not flat. Sailors were particularly aware, since they could see the lower part of a boat descend under the horizon before its masts as it sailed away. The ancient Greeks even attempted to calculate the size of the earth, although they grossly underestimated the size of the Atlantic Ocean, leading to a much smaller number than the earth's actual size. Geographers working in the Abbasid Caliphate came to much more accurate conclusions. Using trigonometry and spherical geometry, they calculated that the earth is 12,728 kilometers in diameter. They were off by a mere 37 kilometers. Furthermore, they calculated the earth's circumference to be 39,968 kilometers, when in actuality it is 40,074 kilometers. Without modern satellites and telescopes, these calculations can only be described as astounding. Islamic geography was not limited solely to calculations of the earth's size. Great effort was also put into mapping the world. Ancient Greek maps, particularly Ptolemy's, were expanded upon and improved. One of the best examples is the Atlas, made by Muhammad al-Idrisi, who lived in 12th century Sicily. Although Sicily had previously been part of the Muslim world until its conquest by the Normans in the late 11th century, the reigning king in al-Idrisi's time, Roger II, was a tolerant and well-informed sovereign. Under his patronage, al-Idrisi produced a world map unrivaled in its accuracy and detail in the Middle Ages. For hundreds of years afterwards, it was the benchmark by which other maps were judged. It was not only a drawing of the physical geography of the known world, but it also included descriptions of the cultures, politics, and societies of the various regions to which explorers had traveled. Just as fascinating to Muslim geographers as the known world was what was unknown. Western mythology holds up Christopher Columbus as the great explorer who was the first to brave the vast Atlantic Ocean to discover the New World in 1492. Besides narratives of his discovery, discounting the fact that natives had been living there for centuries, and that there is very strong evidence that Vikings ventured to what is now Canada in the 10th century, there is mounting evidence of Muslim transatlantic voyages hundreds of years before Columbus. In 922, the Muslim traveler and jurist Ibn Fadlan wrote the earliest existing record of the Vikings. In the mid-10th century, the great geographer and historian al-Masudi wrote of a voyage from Muslim Iberia in 889 that sailed west from the port of Delba, the same port from which Columbus would sail, for months, until it happened upon a very large, previously unknown landmass. His account states that they traded with the locals and then returned home. Al-Masudi's world map even includes an unknown land across the Atlantic Ocean because of this account. Another account is recorded by al-Idrisi, who wrote that a group of Muslim sailors ventured for 31 days across the Atlantic Ocean and landed on an unknown island. They were taken captive by the local natives, but eventually freed when one of the natives who spoke Arabic was able to mediate between the two groups and arrange for their release. A final report of a transatlantic voyage comes from Mali, the Muslim kingdom in West Africa that peaked in the 14th century. As told to Ibn Battuta, the great Muslim traveler, 200 ships sailed west from the coast of Africa to discover the unknown. When only one returned, it reported they had found land across the ocean, but had to turn back because of a storm. The king of Mali, Mansa Abu Bakr, reportedly outfitted 2,000 ships this time, sailed with them into the Atlantic Ocean, and was never heard from again. These stories of Muslim voyages across the ocean are certainly not definitive proof of transatlantic contact before Columbus, but the fact that they are recorded by geographers known for their insistence on accuracy, coupled with allusions to Muslim communities in the Americas found in the journals of the first generation of European explorers of the New World, point to possibilities which could entirely rewrite the accepted history of the Age of Discovery. During the 1300s, Ibn Battuta, a scholar of Islamic law from Morocco, traveled over 170,000 kilometers. His journeys included West Africa, India, China, and Southeast Asia.